He's one of the most underrated players in the NHL. You never see his name in the big lights. You never see him trying to get in the spotlight because he's one of the most humble players you'll ever meet on and off the ice. His philanthropy is unmatched compared to anybody else in the NHL. He's won multiple awards, two-time Stanley Cup winner. He's Aleksander Barkov, the captain of the Florida Panthers and the longest tenured Florida Panthers. This is a special episode of Panthers Digest, guys, that will spotlight his journey getting into the NHL and some of the incredible things that he has done on and off of the ice. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest, guys. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, guys, because you need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. And mark your calendars, guys. Tuesday, the 29th, I'm going to be posting another very important episode because my guest that I will be interviewing is an ESPN analyst. It's a big-time guest for me, guys, so you're not going to want to miss that episode on Tuesday when I post it. So mark your calendars, and don't forget to subscribe. So again, this is the story about Aleksander Barkov. This is not an incredibly deep look into his pre- and current career in the NHL. It's an overview. So you're going to learn things that maybe you've never known about him, and you might hear some things that you already know. But this is the story, the quick story, of Aleksander Barkov. I hope you enjoy it. Aleksander Sasha Barkov was born on September 2nd, 1995 in Tampere, Finland, to Aleksander Barkov Sr. and Olga Barkova. Aleksander Barkov Sr. was a professional hockey player, and he played in several different countries such as Russia, Italy, and Finland. Sasha's mother, Olga, well, she was also a professional athlete. She played for the Russian national basketball team. But Sasha would follow in his dad's footsteps. He ended up joining Tapere's junior system at a very young age, continued his career until he actually became a pro at 16 years old in 2011 in the Finnish Elite League for the exact same team his dad played for, Tapera. He was also the youngest to score a point in the league that very year he became a professional. He would also represent Finland in the World Junior Ice Hockey Championships that same year, and he was the youngest Finnish player ever to do so. In his second year playing in the Finnish Elite League for Tapera in 2012 and 2013, in just 53 games, he scored 21 goals, had 27 assists, and had a plus-minus of 18, and had 9 power play goals. His performance that year drew the eyes of several NHL teams, one of which ended up drafting him second overall the following year. On July 15th, 2013, in the NHL entry draft, the Florida Panthers selected Sasha Barkov second overall behind Nathan MacKinnon. On October 3rd, 2013, Sasha Barkov made his NHL debut at just 18 years old. He was the youngest in the league that season. In that very first game, well, he ended up scoring his very first goal of his career.
Found loose, Gilbert pounding away, Barkov, a shot, he scores!
If it's his goal, he becomes the youngest ever to score in the National Hockey League.
In his first 5 seasons with the Florida Panthers, Barkov only saw the playoffs once, but his stats improved consistently over each one of those 5 seasons. And in 2018, he was named captain of the Florida Panthers. Since getting the letter put on his sweater, the Florida Panthers have made it to the Stanley Cup playoffs in 5 of the last 6 seasons. They've won the Atlantic Division twice, the President's Trophy once, made it to 3 consecutive Stanley Cup finals, and just came off back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. And he was the first Finnish-born captain to ever win the Stanley Cup. Sasha Barkov isn't just a phenomenal hockey player that is soft-spoken and humble and quiet and doesn't need his name in the big lights and needs to make the incredibly flashy plays every single time he skates. No, he does things off the ice that are just mind-boggling. He's a great human being. His philanthropic endeavors speak volumes about the good-natured person that he is. He has a partnership with Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital where he's donated over $420,000 since 2019. From the 2019 season and beyond, he's donated $1,600 per goal that he scores and $800 per assist. The man has such an incredibly big heart that he visits the hospital frequently to play video games, do arts and crafts, and play air hockey with the kids that are too ill to leave the facility. He's even funded a state-of-the-art playroom, and he's helped expand the facilities to allow treatment of more complex and critical conditions for young kids. And he even brings the Stanley Cup in so the kids can take a look at the greatest trophy in all of sports. Off the ice, the man doesn't have a mean bone in his body, but when he takes his skates and laces them up and sets one foot on the ice, it's game on. You're gonna get a guy who's got rough and tough attitude, is gonna fight for the puck, and do whatever he can to help his team win. His last name might not be McDavid or Matthews or Pastrnak, but it doesn't matter. He's one of the most underrated players in the NHL today. But how much he has been able to accomplish is because he is smart, he is selfless, he is a leader. He is the definition of what a real NHL hockey player needs to be. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate all of your support. But before we go, I wanted to throw a couple of things at you. So I said he may not be the flashiest of players all the time. I'm going to show you just this really quick highlight reel. Very quick. It's about 27 seconds just to show you some of the things that he has done. Because yes, he's a defensive player. He's a 3-time Selke Award winner. 3 out of the last 4 years in the NHL, so he's a defensive forward. But he is flashy when he needs to be. His skill level is unmatched, and like I said, incredibly underrated because he's a team player. He doesn't care about scoring 50 goals a season. He can do 20 to 30 goals in his season and get 50 to 60 assists, which he has pretty much averaged in the last several seasons. But this is the talent that Aleksander Barkov has. Look at the between the legs move. Unbelievable. His strength, his size, his ability to see what other guys can't see on the ice, his hand-eye coordination is unmatched. Again, he is this absolutely top-notch talent in the NHL, and he definitely does not get enough credit for what he does offensively as well as defensively. And I'm going to show you one other thing about this man that I am absolutely impressed with. Is this. In his entire career, 804 games, 286 goals, 496 assists, but a plus-minus of 124. 3-time Selke Award winner. I just said 3 out of the last 4 years. He's won the King Clancy Memorial Trophy, which best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice, and surely he has done that. As I said, his philanthropy that he has done for the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital down here has been absolutely wonderful, and he loves going there and spending time with those kids. So just an absolutely incredible human being on and off the ice. He also won the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy for sportsmanship and conduct and high standard of playing ability. I've said this already in this video. He is just an absolutely fantastic person, an absolute talent on the ice. He is Aleksander Barkov. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Panthers Digest. Don't miss the next one. I'll probably have one coming up today, possibly tomorrow, but don't miss, again, Tuesday, the 29th, I'll be interviewing an analyst from ESPN. It's a big-time episode. You're not going to want to skip on that one, guys, and you're going to watch the whole thing, believe me. A lot of great answers to some very big questions about the new CBA, about some things going on with the Panthers, as well as some other teams. So don't miss out. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining me on Panthers Digest. I'm Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, and go Cats.